In today's video, we are going to talk about Linux versus Mac. Well, first of all, I'll start with Linux. Well, if we talk about the customization in Linux, we get a lot of option because we get a lot of Linux distributions and each Linux distribution comes with its own perks. For example, as I am using Ubuntu, this is how its interface look like and it is using GNOME desktop environment. And if we talk about Deepin Linux, or let's say we talk about Zorin or Pop OS, Garuda or any other Linux distribution, it will be using a different desktop environment. It means it will come with its own features and its own application. So this is how we have a lot of options available in terms of customization and choice. And not only that, in each Linux distribution, for example, if we talk about Ubuntu, we get different flavors. We get Kubuntu that uses KDE. We get Xubuntu, which uses XFCE desktop environment. That is not the case with Mac. Now I'll talk about default application. Well, we get some application by default. For example, for your browser, you get Mozilla Firefox by default in your most Linux distribution. And for your emails, you get Thunderbird mail client. And for your music and video files, you get Rhythmbox. And for your documents, you get LibreOffice. And other than that, just like any other operating system, we get some of the utilities like calculator, text editor, document scanner, etc. I will just get out of this and now I'll talk about the security. Well, security is one of the top-notch feature of Linux distribution. As it is open source, this is why Linux are very secured as compared to any other operating system out there till date. Till date, we have 60 to 100 bugs that have been reported, but none of them have been able to penetrate through user system because as it is open source, that is why people have countermeasures against them. And if I talk about the cost, well, Linux distributions are open source and they are free to use. It means no matter what Linux distribution you are downloading, it will be free of cost. And as it is open source, you will be able to use it freely. At the end, I'll talk about the software center. Well, just like in Windows, we get Microsoft Store. In each Linux distribution, you will get a center or a software center from where you can download different applications. In Ubuntu, we get Ubuntu software. I will just open this one. This is how it looks like. And from here, you can download and install different applications as per your liking. You just need to explore it and you have categories as well. From here, you can download and install different applications as per your liking from these categories. So that was all about the Linux distributions. Now I'll talk about the Mac. Now let's talk about Mac. Well, first of all, I'll talk about the customization. Well, Mac allows you to do a little bit of customization, but if you want to compare it with your Linux operating system or Linux distribution, Linux is way ahead. Because Linux comes with many distributions and each distribution comes with different updates, different features and different applications, and each Linux distribution also allows you to do different kind of customization. That is not the case with Mac. With one version, you get one type of customization. Yes, you can do some of the things related to its theme, its interface, placement of your application, etc. But you cannot do a lot of things. If we talk about the default application, well, Mac has a lot of default application. For example, we have Safari as a Mozilla Firefox. We get mail for our email services. We get contacts. We get FaceTime. We get music for our MP3 files. Then we have our podcast. Then we have our photos and we have many more things. So if I say that this is where Mac is way ahead than Linux, it wouldn't be wrong because we get more number of application by default in Mac than Linux. I will just get out of this and now I'll talk about the security. Well, Apple does not compromise on its security. Its security is impenetrable and this is why a lot of people opt for Mac than Windows. Yes, if you want to compare it with Linux, I would say both of them are pretty same. Well, Mac also allows you the option to disable your app tracking transparency. And because of that, you don't have to go through personalized ad or feel like being spied on. At the end, I'll talk about Mac's terminal. Well, Mac provides a console as a terminal application. Let me just open that. I will just search for it. Here it is on the top. I will just open this one. Well, Mac has a console, command line prompt and terminal. A command line is used to type your commands, and prompt will provide you with some information and also enable you to run different commands. And with the help of this terminal, you will be able to run different commands to do different tasks. But majority of the work you will be doing using your interface, your keyboard and your mouse. There are very limited tasks that will need you to run different commands onto your terminal. So we can say that Mac is more user friendly than Linux distribution. I'll just close this one, and that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope now that you must have liked this one. If that is the case, please leave a like, subscribe and press the bell icon. I'll get back to you in the next video. Till then, take care.